Having a Raspberry Pi that's set up to take videos automatically in and around your house can not only provide a sense of security, but also of accomplishment. First, the Raspberry Pi takes a picture. Then a second later, it takes another picture. Then it compares those two pictures to each other to see if any changes have occurred in that 1 second. But not like that. Comparing the entirety of two pictures to each other would take a lot of processing power, so to save time, a mask is used to focus on key areas of the picture. Once the picture is taken and the mask is applied, the code then converts the image to grayscale, which reduces the amount of memory needed to evaluate it by 3, because color uses 3 values to make, while grayscale only uses 1. It also blurs the image to reduce the amount of processing power needed as well. So as said before, once the image is masked, grayed out, and blurred, the Python code checks every pixel between the two images to see if there are any differences between them. If there is a difference that is above a value of 50, then that pixel is assigned a value of 255. If the difference between the two is below 50, that pixel is assigned a value of 0. So if everything added together is greater than, in this case, 30,000, then that means there's been enough of a change that something is moving in the view of the camera, which means that the Pi should start recording a video. And here we can see the first successful video that was taken of me walking around outside. Once the code uploads the video to Dropbox, it begins alerting the user. So here, the code is sending an email from an email created specifically for the smart doorbell to my student account. After the email is sent, code also sends a text message. Well, that took forever. So that's how the stock version of this code runs. But now we're on to the fun part where I made everything a whole lot better. The first thing I did just to save space on the Pi is once the H.264 file is converted to MP4, I delete that file and just save the MP4. The next thing I did was modify the email sent to me a little bit so that it just shows the time it was sent, because the email itself already has, the date that it was received. And instead of just sending one trigger frame, I decided I wanted to see them both so I could really see where it triggered, what the change was, and I did that with just a little line of code. Up next, I really hated that Twilio is a paid thing, so I finagled if this then that to send me a text, which is done through email. The code sends an email to if this then that, which then tells if this then that to send me a text. And then within that text, I have a link to the Dropbox video that was just uploaded. So I get the text on my phone and I can instantly watch it, which is really convenient. Also, I really didn't like how unorganized Dropbox was when you're just throwing files in all the time. So I set it up that every day Dropbox makes a new folder with that day's date as the name, and at the same time, it deletes the folder from 2 weeks ago. So on the day that a folder turns 2 weeks old, it gets deleted. So we save space in Dropbox, and everything stays nice and organized. Okay, next up, I had a little problem with the power going out, just randomly, because that happens sometimes. So I also set up the code to automatically run whenever the Pi boots and to run in the background. So if that ever happens, it'll only be down for like 30 seconds for it to restart once it gets power again, and it'll just automatically start running the code again.